California Governor Gavin Newsom has a plan for homelessness in San Diego. We'll have more later in the show. And San Diegans are seeing storms push hard through the county. Find out if the rain will continue through spring break. And it's March, and you know what that means for SDSU basketball fans. Learn who the Aztecs play next in sports. Newscene starts now. Hello, I'm Benjamin Guadarrama, and welcome to this week's edition of Newscene, a broadcast produced by the students of San Diego City College. Every Wednesday, we bring you the top stories of the week. We start tonight with the latest from the governor of California. Gavin Newsom is pushing for a ballot measure covering the cost of housing for the state's most vulnerable. He made the announcement in a visit to San Diego this week. The governor wants to cover the cost of permanent housing and treatment for those with mental illness, substance use disorders, and homelessness. If the measure passes, Newsom says it could help more than 10,000 Californians. He says the effort would also help veterans. The measure would be placed on the ballot in 2024. And even local officials have their sights set on addressing surging homelessness here in San Diego. The effort was announced by Mayor Todd Gloria and Councilmember Stephen Whitburn this week. The plan involves repurposing underutilized sites such as parking lots for services and housing options. The announcement comes as a new report indicates the number of homeless in San Diego is increasing. The plan is expected to be voted on next month. And the stormy weather continues this week. Staying warm and dry is getting harder and harder for our homeless population. To help, the San Diego Housing Commission has opened inclement weather shelters. There are 4 of these shelters around downtown San Diego, and check-in starts as early as 4 in the afternoon. For more information on inclement weather shelters, visit sdhc.org. And those storms sure made their impact on San Diego. I almost lost my umbrella because of the winds yesterday. Jillian, tell us, am I safe for spring break or not?
Yeah, Ben. I think I'm going to say yes and no. There's going to be a slight chance of showers in the upcoming days, and there is going to be a flood watch until 9 p.m. tonight. So keep an eye on your local forecast with that. But good news, there is going to be sunny skies ahead. So before we get into that, let's take a look back at Tuesday. This is actually video shot by our anchor, Ben. It was pretty crazy rain. You could see the wind was really heavy. I was over by UCSD and people's umbrellas were basically going inside out and almost blowing away. But luckily, things are going to tone down a bit. So for our afternoon temperatures, let's take a look. In the coast and inland areas, it's partly rainy at 59. Mountains, there might be a chance of snow and rain. And desert is partly sunny at 62, so slightly warmer over there. But tonight, what's happening? So let's take a look. For tonight's temperatures, I'm seeing basically low 50s and 40s. But if you see over in Julian and Mount Laguna, it's going to be snowing. So if you're there, take some pictures. But yeah, it's a cooler night, so, bring a coat if you're going out. But for our 5-day forecast, this is where the good news is. Thursday and Friday is going to be partly sunny. We're not seeing any rain. And Saturday and Sunday, we're actually going to be seeing full sunny skies, around 60s, so it's almost spring break. So remember, don't come to school and maybe go out and enjoy the sun. But yeah, that's all I have for weather. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Jillian. It'll be nice to not almost lose my umbrella again. And construction of 2 border walls at Friendship Park is leaving community members and local leaders outraged. Governor Newsom and President Biden have been asked to take immediate action. The construction of the 30-foot wall at the park began weeks ago. It is expected to last up to 6 months. Friendship Park has been the place where families and friends from the United States and Mexico can meet. Community members say access has been restricted by the Border Patrol in recent years. And fans of SDSU's men's basketball are hyped for the team's successes this month. Stay tuned for the sports after the break.
There are so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Welcome back to Newscene. Soon you'll need to remember to ask for straws at your local drive-thru. The city of San Diego says it will now be enforcing the ban on sales of polystyrene products. Polystyrene is a material used for takeout plates, disposable cups, and egg cartons, and even pool noodles. The ban will also prevent restaurants from handing out single-use disposable utensils unless asked. You may remember a ban went into effect in June of 2022. But it has not been enforced. That will officially begin on April 1st. And San Diego residents are saving more money on gas than they were a year ago. Since early March, prices have gone down nearly 7 cents, according to AAA and the Oil Price Information Service. We in San Diego are paying an average of $4.90 per gallon, more than $1 less than we were last year. It's far and away better than what we paid in 2022, and almost $6.50 per gallon. Horrible. And a group of local cyclists are calling on the mayor to invest in safer streets. The San Diego County Bike Coalition is taking measures by putting up signs to spread awareness of traffic deaths. According to coalition data, deaths of cyclists and pedestrians in 2021 reached their highest numbers in a decade. Some of the changes requested include additional bike paths and improved intersection traffic signals. And if you love to sit and listen to the sounds of the Rady Shell on the cheap, a new law will have you moving along. It's now illegal for people to bring large items like chairs, tables, and coolers to the sidewalk by the bay bordering the Rady Shell. According to Port of San Diego officials, it should reduce safety concerns due to overcrowding before, during, and after events. Harbor police will also be able to cite those who climb and sit on the rocks along the sidewalks. The ordinance goes into effect next month. And before school lets out for spring break, City College has some great events planned. Candace, tell us more.
Thanks, Ben. City College is celebrating Transgender Day of Visibility this week. And what better way to do it with the Trans Excellence Drag Show? The event will feature 4 amazing performances and advocates showing off their creative craft. The performances tomorrow will begin at noon. They will also be followed by meet and greets with talented performers. Check it out in L206. And if film is more your thing, City College is welcoming an award-winning documentary filmmaker to campus. Paul Espinoza will reflect on his career covering the U.S.-Mexico borderlands, and part of a screening of the film Reflections of Chicano Filmmaker, looking back on stories told. Espinoza's presentation will include a cultural and historical journey through the social formation of the Mexican, American, and Chicano community. Look for the screening in V101 starting at 12:45 tomorrow. And with spring break set for next week, City College country music fans can kick it off with an epic concert. KSON is hosting its Country Fest 2023 at Gallagher Square at Petco Park on Saturday. Favorites like Lee Brice, Parma Lee, Easton Corbin, Dylan Carmichael, and Hannah Ellis will perform their latest hits. Tickets start at just $45. This is a country fest you don't want to miss. That's all we have for entertainment this week. Back to you, Ben.
Thanks a lot, Candace. I'm especially interested in checking out that film. Sounds like a great time. And the Aztecs are making their way through the March Madness tournament, and SDSU fans are excited. Joel, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Ben. That's right. The San Diego State Aztecs are rolling into the Sweet 16 of college basketball's big dance. For only the third time in school history, SDSU is advancing to the third round of the NCAA March Madness tournament. The Aztecs will face number 1 seed Alabama thanks to a convincing win over Furman in the last round. SDSU is looking to advance to the Elite Eight for the first time ever. Tip-off is set for Friday at 3:30 p.m. on TBS. And on to the home of SDSU football, Snapdragon Stadium will be roaring for women's soccer this weekend. The San Diego Wave FC is set to start their sophomore season. The Wave already made home opener history by breaking the NWSL attendance record with over 23,000 expected in the stands. The Wave looked to build on their postseason semifinals appearance last year. They take on the Chicago Red Stars. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. And happening this same weekend at Snapdragon, 2 Liga MX teams will be in town when Cholos take on Club America this Sunday. This will be the first men's professional soccer match taking place at Snapdragon Stadium. The game kicks off at 2 in the afternoon, but a special fan fest will be taking place starting at 11. Come early and check out the live music, food, and visit with team legends. And that's all for sports this week. Now back to Ben at the desk.
Thanks, Joel. It sounded like we have one incredible weekend of sports ahead of us. And like Jillian said, the weather should be great for those games at Snapdragon. And that's all we have for Newscene this week. You can tune in for a new show every Wednesday evening or watch anytime you want on YouTube. You can also keep up with the latest news from the entire City Times media team on sdcitytimes.com/newscene. This is Benjamin Guadarrama, and for the entire Newscene team, good night.